welcome to Spanish Fork Planning Commission meeting. It is November 1st, 2023. Welcome everyone that's here. We had a work session at 5:15. No formal actions were taken. Our first item is, oh yes. Would you do our pledge tonight? Thank you, Commissioner Clayson.
Please rise. Repeat the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for the reminder. Okay. Now for the next item on the agenda is to adopt the minutes from our October 4th, 2023 meeting.
I'll make the motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Nay.
Okay. All right, our next item is item 4A, SIPN.
So this is a zone change proposal. It was continued last month. The site is at the corner of 100 East and 300 South. The proposal is to make some site improvements and then also open a boutique on site. It's currently zoned R16, and the applicant is requesting a zone change to general commercial with the development enhancement overlay. And I believe the applicant's here tonight, so I'll probably give them a chance to speak to their proposal.
Wonderful. We'd love to hear from the applicant.
Can you zoom in on the current aerial? Zoom in on the existing site plan? Okay. The packet had it blurry, that's why I was asking.
All right, if you'll give your name and.
Yeah, Nicholas Simpson. I'm the owner of this property as well as SIPN. Yeah, apologies for not being here at the last meeting. We totally missed that, so we didn't know we were on the agenda. So yeah, the purpose of this is to mitigate the traffic issues that we face on 100 East, and especially the complaints that we've had from the neighbors there. So this change will allow for us to stack all of the cars that, unless we have a crazy busy day, but we should be able to stack all of the cars on site and keep all of the cars off of the roadways there.
Great. Okay,
What are the changes?
do we have any
So
questions?
yeah, did you say pull up the existing?
Uh-huh.
Okay, because this is not what's there right now.
This is the proposed.
This is the proposed.
Okay.
Are you
Are you
hoping to?
demoing?
So yeah, there will be some asphalt and concrete demo. I guess I have a pointer here, right?
Do I?
I don't have success with these pointers, so I can't tell you.
There we go. Yeah, so currently the traffic enters here and then comes along the building and then exits right here, like through this proposed ADA area. And that causes lots of issues. And, oh, yeah, there we go. Let's see, where are we?
That's a good question.
I'm lost. Main Street. Okay, yeah. You can zoom in a little bit more there. Okay. Yeah, so you can see this is the current drive-through here. The demo that would take place would be this. These are just temporary sheds right here. So we would demo those and then bring the traffic through here and around the back and then come right here, and then they would exit back over here. So as far as like building, like 111 East and 109 East, those structures would remain. But the temporary sheds that previous owners had added on would be taken off. And then we would, repave curb and gutter on 100 East and 300 South.
Now that I see that.
And
Okay.
then dress it up with, there is a landscape plan.
Great. Okay,
The one on 300 South, Nicholas, is it ingress, egress, that access, or ingress only?
It's ingress, egress, so
Then on 100 East, is it egress only or ingress, egress?
egress, so
Egress
the,
only?
yes.
Okay.
That way there's no opportunity to
For sure. Yeah.
stack cars there.
Yeah, it's smart.
so one entrance and 2 exits.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so this oh gosh, this here is only an exit.
Okay.
And then there would be curbing here for the drive-through so that this is, separated.
And then it's one way wrapped around the building.
Yep, so this will be separated here. This is like a little picnic area. I'll have like 2 picnic tables there. And then this is one way. There'll be, you can park in these stalls here or enter through the drive-through.
Got it. Okay, and I think one of my questions from last month was, I wondered if you were going to be able to go both directions, and I was concerned about
Yeah.
that parallel parking on that side, so
Yeah,
that's
it's a one-way.
okay,
So once you're in, you're committed. You've
Right.
got to get a cami, like there's no outlet.
okay. So then our other question for you from am I doing this in the right order, Dave? Do I need to have, our questions and stuff of the applicant are right? Okay. So our question is, for a second business there in the other structure, that's what we wanted to know about, and if that was going to cause more parking issues or traffic issues there. So what's your
Yeah, so
plan?
I think per city standards, we have sufficient parking for both buildings as far as square footage goes.
Okay.
So, and the idea would be to put a small clothing boutique in that other, so 111 East building.
How many parking stalls are there? 12, 11?
Gosh, you're checking me here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
And what's the square footage of that secondary use?
This one here,
The retail space,
I believe just under 2,000.
small store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be very small.
Do you find that a lot of your customers come down off of 300 South and then are making a right turn, or they see like a right turn, U-turn into your drive-through?
Yeah, so most of the customers enter off 300 South, they'll come here and then flip around here and then come in.
That's
What's
what
in
I
the-
do.
What's the second building now? What business is that?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, it used to be the bakery for all the treats, and we've moved that operation to Payson, so it's vacant.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you own it, so you'll be the landlord on it?
yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think too, it's important, the neighborhood was here and they're pretty supportive of the plan. It
Oh,
seemed
good.
like everybody that talked about it was pretty happy with,
They were at the meeting that
Yeah,
I wasn't at.
several were.
yeah, so they were pretty happy with the
Yeah.
way the design and everything was.
I think our biggest concern with continuing it was to find more about the second
Use.
use and making sure your parking flow was gonna, your driving and parking flow was gonna work.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we had other questions.
I had a question for staff. When someone applies for a business license at this location, are you confirming they have enough parking for the use that they're requesting?
Yes.
Yes, awesome, thank you.
And I'll just add that
It's another
one of the
safeguard.
things that's unique about this request, using the development enhancement overlay, we do take into consideration the specific use. So for example, now we're considering a clothing boutique, something, very, very close to that, identifiable use of space, and the remaining part is basically a restaurant with a drive-through. That's not maybe the best way to describe it, but if, for example, somebody came back in a few years and wanted to put a medical office in one of the buildings on that site, then before we'd issue a business license for that, we'd have them go back through the development enhancement overlay process again, as just a fundamental part of that unique zoning tool and how it's intended to be used, to be able to consider the specific opportunities that a site can provide, taking into account the specific needs of a use, and really looking at it in a very narrow fashion that way. Whereas typically zoning, we're looking citywide, right? If a property is zoned a certain way, then we have somehow premeditated that any uses that are allowed in that zone, if certain criteria can be met, can work there. It's different with this zoning tool.
Nicholas, do you have is that a drive-through only sip-in, or can customers walk in? Is there a lobby to order?
Yeah, so there's a very small lobby, like it's basically like a walk-up window, essentially, inside. There's no like tables.
What percentage of your business, and you don't have to get this right, just
Yeah,
rough estimate?
It's about 90-10.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's what I
90%
thought
goes
you
through the
said.
drive-through. The walk-up traffic we get is from like the junior high.
Cool.
It's kids. And so we've actually talked about eliminating that altogether, because Johnny's used to have a walk-up window right here. And so we've talked about eliminating entrance here to customers altogether and just utilizing this and the picnic area, something like that. But, I mean, that's aside the point, I guess.
Well, if you do something like that, just be cognizant of the drive-through traffic and the
Yes,
pedestrians.
yeah.
You could add things to make it safe,
Yeah.
which you'd want to do as your business, right?
You bet.
Okay. Wonderful, thanks so much.
You bet. Thank
We
you.
Appreciate that. All right, this is a public hearing, so we'll go into public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come and speak to this proposal to change the zoning? Seeing none, we'll go out of public hearing. And and now we'll have, do we have any other questions for Dave or discussion about this change? So the proposal is to change the zoning from R16 to C2 general commercial using the overlay.
I'd like to make a motion if you guys are ready for it.
Yes.
Yeah. I move the Planning Commission recommends approval of sip and drinks and treats zone change and site plan.
Do we have to say including the findings and conditions?
Subject to staff's findings and conditions.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that passes. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being a great member of our community.
I'm feeling thirsty, I need a sip.
All right, our next item is 4B, Recreation Center Zone Change.
Thank you, Mrs. Warnick. The subject property in this case is just under 10 acres located on South Main on the west side of Main Street. If you're going south, it'd be just before you get to the Main Street Arrowhead Trail intersection. Been a number of uses previously located on the site here. Number of single-family homes up until just recently, in recent years, were located there, as well as an automotive repair business that I think prior to that had been a grocery store at some point in time, way back in time on South Main. The city, Spanish Fork City, has acquired the properties that are involved in the proposed zone change over the course of a number of years, and they will be on a site that a recreation center is being constructed on. Recreation Center is a municipal facility, and as such, it would be allowed in the residential office zone. You can see, I think, well, from this image here, that the volunteer park, which is located adjacent to, immediately west of the subject properties, that is zoned public facilities. And we as staff simply felt like this was a good time to take the initiative to go ahead and change the zoning of these subject properties here in advance of the construction of the recreation center, really just to keep orderly maps and things in, I guess, again, I'd say just proper order relative to zoning and the anticipated use of the subject property. So not necessarily essential, but again, we felt like this was as good of a time as any to initiate this change. I mentioned as well that we are, as you know, undertaking a general plan update, rewrite, something to that effect, that we've just recently started on. There probably will be, some need to make a number of different changes to our general plan for this part of the community as we go through that process, and this property probably will be part of that as well. So we did not feel like it was necessary to take the step at this point in time with this proposed zone change to go through a general plan amendment as well, but expect that'll happen over the course of the next year.
Wonderful. I would love to see on the big screen the first graphic of, that we have on our computer, just the one that, yes, that one. It'd be interesting to see those two overlaid, like where the line for what we're approving tonight goes through this property.
You can
This
see
is the
it. Yeah.
this is recreation center.
Yeah, it shows up. Is it intentionally placed there, or is it by just happenstance that you can see the boundary, I believe, right
Oh.
there?
Oh, it's oriented different, okay.
So
it's
yes,
turned-
north
I see.
is
Okay,
to the right, Main Street, Volunteer Drive
gotcha.
being there, so this is the river over here. This must designate or delineate the the property that previously had been the Volunteer Park to the west from the other properties to the east. But that's the line work there.
Okay,
Will the two
I
lots
see it
become
now.
one?
I assume so.
What was your question?
Ideally, they should. We should, yeah, go through the necessary process to reconfigure
a good
properties
idea.
and parcels, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said, Vaughn, I'm sorry.
I asked if the two lots will become one, and he said they'll go through a lot line adjustment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a lot line adjustment at least, so that the property line doesn't bisect the building.
Okay. And when you adjust the lot lines, is that filed with the county then?
Yes.
Okay. I'm learning.
It's good.
Okay.
These are good questions.
Thank you for bringing that up. I was trying to figure out and didn't realize that it was
Gotcha. Yeah, that would, yeah,
turned.
that's tricky.
That the map was turned. Okay. All right, do we have any, this is also do we have any other questions for Dave?
Nope.
Okay, and this looks like it's also a public hearing. We'll go into public hearing for this recreation center zone change. Anyone from the public to address this issue? All right, seeing none, we'll go out of public hearing. Any other discussion or a motion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Spanish Fork Recreation Zone Change approval pending the findings
And conditions.
and conditions.
Recommend for approval.
Recommend for approval.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes. That is exciting.
Now what everyone's been waiting for. Here it is.
Yes, I am excited. I do love these. I know some people find them tedious, but
Not me. It's riveting.
riveting. Okay, we now get to discuss the Transportation Master Plan Amendment.
So we have 3 proposed changes on the master plan here tonight. So the first one is realigning a east-west collector from 1900 North and moving it to connect to Main Street at 2050 North. And we could show you here in a minute. Yes. So currently, right now, our master plan shows the connector running east-west on 1900 North and connecting to Main Street right here with the signal. With the approximate location of 1900 North, how close it is to the railroad crossing on Main Street, it makes more sense to move it north and tie into Main Street just a little bit more north on 2050 North. So that's the first proposed change. Any questions on that before we move on? Okay. The second change is to add this trail. Currently, it comes down the side of this property, kind of on Canyon Creek, and ties into Canyon Creek Parkway right here. The proposed change is to keep the trail running along. There's a ditch right here, and so to keep it on the west side of this ditch, just kind of follow that ditch area all the way down to this location now. Pretty minor change, but. And then the final one location is this area up here has now been annexed into the city. In our prior transportation master plan, this wasn't part of the city. Now that it's been annexed, we're adding these collector roads to come up into this location. This east-west road location, we worked with Springville, and eventually will tie into where they show their master plan, Center Street, a road tying in. So there's a little coordination there. And that's it for today.
On that last one, where is it compared with the old transfer station, or still being used transfer station?
Yeah, it's right here,
Okay,
the one that's being moved down.
so it's just that little bit farther down. Oh, after it curves and goes in there. Great.
Yep.
Any other questions? That was straightforward.
Okay.
Riveting.
Good reasons.
Thank you. All right. Any discussion about that? If not, I entertain a motion.
This is a
Public hearing.
Public hearing. All right. We'll now go into public hearing about the Transportation Master Plan amendment. Anyone from the public would like to comment on our changes to the Transportation Master Plan? Seeing none, we will go out of public hearing. And now I would entertain a motion
I
for discussion.
Oh, I'd like to make a motion, Commissioner.
Great.
I move the Planning Commission recommends approval of the changes to the Transportation Master Plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Happy day. And Dave, do you have any further items of discussion or business for us?
It says adjourn.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I didn't say to ask Dave if he has, it just says adjourn.
Sometimes, I know, I just always want to talk about street trees. That's me.
I'm just kidding.
Boy, I really hope to have something by now. I'm sorry I don't, so
That's all right.
sorry to disappoint. but
Disheartened.
That's it.
All right, good deal. Well, then I would entertain a motion.
I move we adjourn the Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
That is a record.
I think that is we're
Wait,
pretty close.
or-